Ghoulies, released in 1985, is an American horror comedy starring Peter Liapis, Lisa Pelikan, a troupe of B-movie sillies, and some cameos by Jack Nance, one of which is absolutely hilarious. The film tries, and has been pigeonholed into the cult of Gremlin copycats and worshippers, although according to Bercovici, production seems to have begun at the same time on both films. Both films were interested in each other, but did not know the details of each other. And Warner Brothers actually tried to sue them from using the title of Ghoulies. And according to some lore, the project began in 1983 under the title Beasties. Historically, it does seem Ghoulies may well have beat Gremlins to release, had Charles Band not run out of money during filming. Thus, in the annals of horror history, Gremlins beat Ghoulies to the punch. And as such, Ghoulies will always be seen as a Gremlins knockoff, although Ghoulies is definitively the original Gremlins knockoff. The movie stands for many as a cult gem of hilarity, and although I find much about this movie to be absolutely hilarious, it is not a powerhouse of hilarity and camp. It has its moments, but it can be a painful watch at times and moves fairly slow. I will dissect the plot and the more memorable moments. I have new videos coming out all the time, so please hit that like and subscribe, as it is the only way I can grow. And without any further ado, I present for you a review and synopsis of Ghoulies, the original Gremlins knockoff. During the Luciferian ceremony, a cult leader named Malcolm prepares to sacrifice his own baby, Jonathan Graves. His mother interferes with the talisman shock, and Wolfgang, portrayed by Jack Nance of She's Wrapped in Plastic fame from Twin Peaks, saves the child. 21 years later, we cut to a 30 to 45-ish looking Jonathan, and Rebecca, his girlfriend. He has inherited his father's estate, and with it a plethora of occultish books and artifacts. As sometime in the past Malcolm died, they invite their ridiculous B-movie friends over, the funniest of which are the stoners, Mike and Eddie, and Jonathan performs a ritual where seemingly nothing happens, but a ghoulie materializes later. Jonathan quits college to pursue the occult. Malcolm influences Jonathan from the grave, who then rituals out, fasts, and summons the Ghoulies. A set of, in my opinion, unique, and when considering the B-movie feel and budget, very well depicted monsters, although only some of them achieve kills. I find myself wondering what these spider Ghoulies can do. Jonathan continues occulting, and Rebecca continues nagging, until a ghoulie pulls a sex magic ritual on them, and pisses her off too much. Jonathan summons Grizzle and Greedy Gut, who bewitch Rebecca to stay, and promise Jonathan power. He then throws a grand party, bewitches his friends, and in one of the top 3 funniest scenes of the film, the Ghoulies thrash about and sit in the food while eating it. Jonathan's friends wear ridiculous glasses and cannot see them, and while they eat the ghoulie-garnished feast, Jonathan smiles at the situation. It is truly funny and a great and classic camp scene. Another hilarious scene, one which battles for dominancy in the top 3, is the ritual. While ritualing, everyone begins screaming and flipping out. It builds in comedic weight until the Ghoulies and their ridiculously campy voices join in, at which point it goes over the top in an epically hilarious scene. Malcolm then rises from the grave, and for a moment, he looks genuinely horrific, before turning ridiculously silly, cheesy, over the top, and quite frankly just too much. Malcolm declares he is the real master. Tons of kills and shenanigans and some plot go down. Some of the kills are quite decent and hilarious. The Ghoulies are allowed to shine, somewhat, although overall their inclusion in the film seems somewhat minimal, and I find myself walking away wanting much more ghoulie gore and screen time. Rebecca is killed and resurrected, and all of the B-budget sillies are killed, except perhaps Mike. Then the final showdown between Jonathan and Malcolm occurs, in a poorly done occultish wizard battle. Wolfgang appears, and the special effects-like lasery wizard battle actually becomes quite epic. In camp cheesy hilarity, this in my opinion is the funniest scene of the movie, as lightning shoots from Malcolm's eye to Wolfgang's, and then from the sky to Wolfgang's eye. It, in my opinion, is actually a feat of camp genius. And if they were attempting humor here, all I can say is great job. This scene kills it. Well, at least this part of the scene kills it. Jonathan's friends are resurrected, and Jonathan, Rebecca, and Mike, accompanied by the Ghoulies, drive away. Overall, Ghoulies exists. And it is indeed very fun at key times. But the final effort and effect for me is a hard one. It is worth the wait, as some of the scenes are quite hilarious epic gems of comedy. But they are too few and far between to make the overall film a classic, or even a pure-cut gem. This film is likely not one I would recommend to the normal horror goer, or the normal camp goer. But for those who enjoy the film and the genre, I have to admit, I enjoy it as well. When it shines, it truly shines, and when it pours, I get very bored. If you enjoyed any of this, please hook me up with a like and a subscribe. I have new videos coming out all the time, and it is the only way I can grow. And until next time, keep sleepwalking, my friends.